segment with me, your tutor, Dario Koti, and today we are looking at namespace and exceptions. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. So today we are going to learn about namespace in C++. Then we understand the programming structure, then also move on to header file, then lastly, exceptions. So namespace is a feature that provides a way to group related identifiers such as variables, functions, and classes under a single name. So it provides the space where we can define or declare identifiers like variables, method, classes. Yes. So namespace definition. It begins with the keyword namespace and followed by the namespace name. So as you can see the structures, this is the namespace and this is the name. So we are moving on to the namespace definition code. We will define a namespace called programming. As you've seen here, we've defined a namespace called programming. Then we move on to the accessing namespace members. Access the members of namespace using scope resolution operator. So as you can see, namespace, then the name, then as you can see the member name. So accessing namespace members. As you can see, defining a namespace called programming. So we've defined a namespace called programming. This is it. Then the void function, the STD stands for standard. So we move on. Okay. Some of these are necessary at this time. Namespace with using directives. This directive tells the compiler that the subsequent code is making use of namespace in specified namespace. So as you can see, so we move on to exception headline. It's based on keeping the normal functionality of the program separate from error headline. The basic idea of that errors occurring in one particular part of the programs are reported to another part of the program known as the calling environment. The part of a program that performs central error headline in the calling environment is referred to as an exception handler. Handling. There are two parts of implementing exception handling. The part of programming that can throw exceptions, the part of handler that will process the various exception type. Try and catch blog. So this when you have time you go through. Throwing standard exceptions. Standard exceptions are the set of classes that represent different types of common exceptions. All these classes are defined into header files and mainly derived from the standard exception classes, which acts as a base class for inbuilt exceptions. So as you can see here, these are some of the exception hierarchy. And this is also an example of a throwing standard exception this year. So benefit of exception handling, some are separation of error handling codes from normal code, functions, methods, functions or methods can handle only the exception chosen group of error types. Separate compilations. The function defines the function definition is a function declaration in which the body of the function is presented. Structure. The function definition includes a return type, a name, a parameter list, and a body enclosed in the curly brackets. So as we move on to the header file, and this is the last one for this section. So C++ offers its users a variety of functions, one of which is included in header files. In C++, all the header files may or may not end with H. Header files in C++ are basically used to declare an interface of a model or any library. So components of a header file. We have the function definition, data type, and macros. Okay, so this brings us to the end of today's section. See you next time.